Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right, it's Friday, so it's my PowerPoint presentation day, literary presentation here. The visual image helps a little bit. This is called Leadership in the Shadow. As we develop, you can see there are different stages that unfold. When you're a baby, you need just direct interaction, right? You're mainlining everything through your body. Body knowing is how everything happens. So that's called inactive. And then when you're in your middle childhood, you start to learn how things stand for one another, the nuances of grammar and language. But it's mostly based on images. Stories really start connecting you, and then your imagination works. But then by the time you get to adolescence, there's another kind of mastery that happens with you understanding exactly what language is and how you can communicate in a much broader way, especially as you get educated. And what we learn from all of this is that symbolism is the mother tongue of humanity. And we learn this through the developmental stages. Let's continue. Now, what else can you learn? When I went to the magic monastery, I don't know if you know this tale, when I went in and the headmaster looked at me and said, so, what do you want? He says, I want some of the sacramental wine. Oh, the sacramental wine, do you? All right, fine. So he took out this glass and poured out, and I took a little drink. And the moment I took a drink, the whole room was wrapped in a kind of crystal, slightly reddish, hue. And the monk who was before me, who was nothing special before, all of a sudden he was shining with this incredible beauty radiating from him. And I wanted to tell him, oh man, you're so beautiful. But the wine had burned out my tongue, and I wasn't able to say it. And then I realized maybe that's what it is to be an inner monk. You see the beauty of everyone and everything, but you can't say anything. Now, the seventh of cups in the tarot is the seductions of the spirit. All these different fantasies and distractions that come to both either entice us to sleep or promise us something, in our greed to gain something. And we have to make a decision. What is it? Is it wealth? Is it prestige? Is it power? Is it spirituality? Is it healing? A lot of different things could pull you one way or the other. You have to find out what are the enticements, because this is what Maya is all about. It makes you measure things in that which is immeasurable. The same root for the word mother and meter and measure is Maya. It creates the appearance of something, but there's something behind that appearance. We're not supposed to get lost in it or caught by it. And if you can do that, you'll realize the world is alive. It's called the anima mundi. There's a soul to everything. And that's what we used to say back in the 60s. All right? Think globally, but act locally. Beautify your environment. Invite the goddess of aesthetics and fertility and charm into your life. Be an embodiment of that. So I hope we all can pray, because otherwise the shadowy aspect of leadership will take you away from that, make you see the ugliness of life, divide you from people. But according to the Jewish tradition, our job is to do what's called tikkun olam, the healing and the reparation of the broken heart of the world. Compassion has been in exile for such a long time in our culture. And so acts of mercy, acts of sympathy, these are not sentimental. They're beautiful aspects of human beings in terms of how we can use our heart. Not just sympathetic clucking around, oh, there but for the grace of God, go ahead. Do something. Do something. Be a first responder. You know it pains you. So are you just going to sit there and take it? Or are you going to build with other people as if we could hold the world in our hands? The only way you can do that is to recognize the paradox. Coincidentia oppositorum, as Jung used to say. The harmony of opposites. And the self, with a capital S, is like the Tao in this symbol of the yin and yang. You notice how in the sine curve, there's one dot of one color in the other one. So it shows you nothing is solely 100%. It's always mixture with something else. And since the self is the totality of all potential, it's the organ of acceptance par excellence. It can handle our deep darkness and destructive tendencies right along with our beauty and creative powers. And so in psychology, this is called making a ego-self axis connection. Don't let the big flywheel, don't let your little flywheel try to run the big flywheel. Let the big flywheel run the little flywheel. See how much energy, power, and resilience you have when you do that. Now, thank you, Avril. Okay, Avril, you're just reminding us, fuck you, question authority, think for yourself. As the Zen master said when those students imported everything from Japan, the rice paper, the calligraphy ink, the beautiful wood to make up the temple and the dojo. He said, oh, he was crying. It was so beautiful you did that, but I just have to tell you, if you want to be a Zen practitioner, you got to be American. You can't try to mimic or be something you're not. And ultimately, there's no form to cling to. So it's not a Orientocentric or a Eurocentric view. It's your personal centric view. And then, of course, the study of oneself is the study of how to forget yourself. Just sit and know that you are the I am, without words. Nothing else has to be done. Shortly, you will arrive to your natural, absolute state. Yeah, this is Nisargadatta Maharaj. His guru just told him this. He was just a simple seller of beedies, those little cigarette things. And you understand your goal is your guru. What are you looking for? What you're looking for is looking for you. And it doesn't matter whether you have a scolding or a praising guru. Does they get the job done? To wipe away your ego and inspire you to go deeper than you've ever gone before. So hopefully you find that right mentor function. The non-shaming face of the guru, it's called the darshan, the constituent glance of being, looking in their eyes, it feels like it gives you a sense of reality, confers a sense of being upon you. I hope you're lucky enough to find someone who gives you that eye, not the stink eye, not the malocho eye. So, is yoga shaming the new fat shaming? There's a lot of ways that we can shame each other, but I always like to talk about the 4 shaming shits. If somebody says you don't know shit, they're trying to shame your wisdom base. If they say to you, you can't do shit, they're trying to shame your power base. If they say to you, you're not worth shit, they're trying to shame your spiritual essence. If they say you'll never amount to shit, they're trying to shame your purpose in life. Don't let them do that. And remember that part of handling the buffetings of life is how they temper the blade. They heat it, they cool it, they heat it, they cool it, they heat it, they cool it. The blade might say, what are you doing? You're torturing me. But you're developing a certain kind of grit, strength, indomitability, imperturbability. In terms of other people are involved in emotional upheavals, you know how to ride with the waves. And then you enter into the dark, you become one with the dark. One with the dark rather than hoping I can find light in the dark. Darkness is another kind of light. There's an endarkenment just as there's an enlightenment. And if you become one with the dark, you can turn your back on the light. Not because you've lost your faith, but you know that when you do, the light comes from behind you and projects your shadow, casts it in front of you where you can keep an eye on it. Much better to know that the shadow's there, faithfully tailing you, rather than lose it and think that you don't have any shadow energy. As one of my teachers used to say, don't ask if you have a shadow, ask how does it manifest. And then when you do that, you'll start to get over your own egocentricity. No more privatizing your own redemption. No fantasy of your own doctrine of salvation, which is called soteriological. Not all about me. Yes, we all have first chakra concerns. We all want to survive. When it's solely about that, then you lose something really important, which is your connection to everybody. So remember this as you go about your day today. The body heals with play, the mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. So it's not that we don't recognize there's deep and dark things, the constant and grave in the human condition. But once you understand this question, where does your body end and the mind begin? Where does your mind end and the soul begin? It's one swinging single energy system. I hope you can stay fluid on the continuum there and tap it all. So play, laugh, and enjoy. Have a great day.